How's it going out there, YouTubers? Cyberneticshark here with another new movie review for you. So let's go right into this review and see what I saw. So the other night, I had the pleasure of checking out an awesome new movie that is considered a sequel in its own right. That's a part of a great series that a lot of people say the last couple films weren't that great. The original is the best, and so forth. Now, the movie I'm talking about happens to be the 2018 film that was, just an awesome and amazing, comedy slash kind of sci-fi flick. Just really fun and a lot more entertaining than I thought it was going to be compared to the previous films. And I thought it had a really great vibe and just really was awesome and entertaining. And that, of course, is the film The Predator. Now, if you haven't had a chance of seeing The Predator series has been a long-running series since 1987, with the great Arnold Schwarzenegger being not only the first film, unfortunately, and about this alien race that, basically hunts people for game, basically. And kind of like what we do for hunting, deer or, animals of any sort or so forth. But this film series just has really evolved and I've really enjoyed it. I definitely think the first one is probably one of the best ones of the series, along with Predators, and then The Predator being, really good. I think the second film was the least best of the series, but definitely a really good series so far. But when it comes to this film, I think it was just really well done, like I said, and it had a lot of great comedy elements, it had a lot of great action sequences, lots of great gore, all that kind of good stuff that you're looking for in a Predator film. Now, this film happens to be directed by an awesome man that actually starred in the original film back in '87, had a brief part. And that, of course, is Mr. Shane Black. Now, Shane Black you might recognize as being, the writer of a whole bunch of great films over the last, 20 years, I'd say. He's directed a few films. He's done a lot of great work in the, film industry, and he's just a really amazing movie person. Now, a couple films I really enjoyed that he's directed are none other than the awesome Russell Crowe and Ryan Gosling-led film that came out 2 years ago now, I believe. I think it was 2016 it came out. And that, of course, is the film The Nice Guys. Now, Nice Guys, if you haven't seen it, this movie is probably one of the awesomest movies I've seen in the last couple years. This movie is just hilarious, awesome, lots of great action, lots of great dialogue, and so beautifully directed by Shane Black. He made just a really amazing film and just brought together two, completely opposite actors that just meshed so well together and made a great duo in the film and just made a really awesome and, excellent film. And actually, The Predator really reminds me a lot of the film The Nice Guys. I feel Shane Black brought a lot of what he put in The Nice Guys into The Predator. And I think that's probably one of the reasons why, unfortunately, I think a lot of the critics didn't think it was that great of a Predator film, is because it had such a comedy element to it versus, say, the original sci-fi, just action go kind of film. And I thought that was a great flavor that, Shane Black brought to it and gave us, really interestingly. And he just did a really amazing job with The Nice Guys, too, like I said. And he just made a really awesome film. Nice Guys, if you haven't seen it, definitely check it out, people. It's worth the watch. Really fun, really awesome, and just really well casted and just fun. Now, another great film that Shane Black directed, and I think that he did an amazing job with, and gave us another awesome film and a franchise that was already growing, has had a lot of great success with its directors, has had just great success in the last, decade that they've been around. And that, of course, is the film Iron Man 3. Now, Iron Man 3, of course, is the third film in the Iron Man trilogy, starring the awesome Robert Downey Jr. And I just thought Shane Black did a really good job. I mean, even though, Jon Favreau didn't come back to do the third one, I thought Shane Black did a great justice to the trilogy. He, brought us a whole new flavor to it. He gave us an interesting aspect, gave us a different version of the Mandarin that, most of us were not really conducive to seeing, very different than what the Mandarin actually was, in the actual Marvel comics. But I thought Shane Black did a really good job of giving us more flavor and more ideas of where Robert Downey Jr.'s character of, Tony Stark was coming from. And where, from 2 to 3, kind of how his life is led, from having to be in Avengers and having to deal with the alien attack and stuff like that. And I thought that he brought a really great close to that trilogy and just did a really good job. And like I said, when it comes to the Predator, like I said, it reminded me so much of The Nice Guys, and I just thought he did a really great job with the film. I thought he made an excellent, new addition to the Predator universe. I thought that the Predators were awesome, how they were created, how they looked, how they interacted. Just everyone in the film was perfectly casted and just worked so well and meshed so well together and just made a fun, awesome film. I highly recommend going to see this, especially if you haven't seen it yet. It is really awesome and just a really excellent film. So this movie has a really awesome cast. And to start out this awesome cast, we have none other than an interesting and a newcomer, I feel, that really hasn't done a lot of movies, but has really started to come on the scene, for the last, 4 or 5 years. And that, of course, is the actor known as Mr. Boyd Holbrook. Now, Boyd Holbrook you might recognize from the series Narcos on Netflix. But other than that, like I said, he really hasn't done much. He's done a few movies here and there, and has done quite a few, small parts of films, but really has had, his first couple of big leads in the last couple years. Now, a couple films I've seen him in and thought he was fantastic in were none other than an awesome 2014 film with the awesome Liam Neeson. And that, of course, is the film Run All Night. Now, this awesome kind of thriller, mobster, action flick was just really well done, really fun and entertaining. Liam Neeson kicked ass in it. Now, Boyd Holbrook's character in the film, he actually plays Ed Harris's son in the film, and he's kind of the reason why this whole kind of mess happens in the film. And I thought that Boyd was really awesome in it, playing that character. I really enjoyed it. I really saw an interesting side of him, kind of seeing this kind of my shit don't stink kind of vibe, and, my dad's this, person, and he won't let anything happen to me kind of thing. And you kind of got interesting, and really awesome type of role from Boyd in this film. And I thought he did a really good job and just made it really intense, and I thought he worked really well with everyone in the film. Gave us a really interesting take and just made it very interesting to watch. Now, another movie that Boyd was in that I really enjoyed and thought he was really good in it was another Marvel film that isn't really part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but, is part of the Marvel comic books. And that, of course, is the third and final Wolverine film, Logan. Now, he actually plays a bad guy character in the film that has a robotic arm. And I think he played that character really well in the film. I honestly don't remember his name in the film, but I do recall him just being a real badass and just really awesome and really fun to watch fight and do in between, scenes and stuff with Wolverine and just interacting with everyone in the film. And I thought that, he really showed another great, bad guy side to him. And really brought, a new, fresh, idea to that character that he was playing. And just, really worked really well and had some really great, fight choreography between him and Hugh Jackman in the film. And just did a really awesome job. When it comes to the Predator, I really enjoyed his character in this. I loved his good guy side, finally getting to see him play. And just him being kind of once again, a badass kind of character. But he just was really awesome in it. I really liked his interaction with everyone. I loved how he held the fort down and charged forward and just worked with everyone. And he did a really awesome job in the film. Really enjoyed him and looking forward to seeing him in more films. Another awesome actor that we have in this film is none other than an awesome comedian that brought his great comedic talents to this film. Gave us a great and awesome kind of just war-torn veteran / kind of comedian / sidekick / interesting character. And that, of course, is Mr. Keegan-Michael Key. Now, you all recognize Keegan from, of course, Key and Peele. You might recognize him from a slew of films. There are different cameos he had in movies, like Due Date and Pitch Perfect 2 and so forth. And he's just a really awesome comedian. I absolutely love everything he does. Now, a couple films I really enjoyed him in and thought he was fantastic in were none other than the awesome film he did with Mr. Peele himself from Key and Peele. And, of course, that is the film Keanu. Now, Keanu, I think, is an absolute ride of a film. I think it's super hilarious and fun. just super stupid and just hilarious. Love that they used Keanu Reeves' name for the film, and naming the cat after him. And I just thought that the whole chemistry in the film between Peele and Key was just so awesome and perfect. They worked so well together and made such a hilarious film. And just Keegan Michael was just so freaking hilarious. And I loved every scene that he was in. And just how he pulled out some nonstop, just funny laughter and lines. And just brought a great character. And it was really fun to watch him that. And he really has a great versatile effect to him, and he just does such an amazing job. Another great film that Keegan-Michael Key is in is an awesome film that's brought to you by the Reno 911 guys, and that, directed it, produced it, came up with the ideas for Reno 911, and also, wrote and directed this film. And this film also has a great cast. It had Rob Corddry in it. It had Keegan-Michael Key in it. It had just a huge cast. And of course that film happens to be called Hell Baby. Now Hell Baby is a great comedy horror film. Oh my god, so freaking hilarious and funny. Lots of great scenes in it, lots of great just one-liners, and Keegan-Michael Key was just so freaking hilarious in it. I love this character. He kind of plays like this bum guy that's just kind of keeps popping up at the house and stuff like that, and like he has like some of the greatest one-liners in the film. And he really brought a great, funny character to this guy, and just made it fun. Every time he popped up, you're just like, what the hell is he doing? This is hilarious. Like, this is so stupid, but it's hilarious. And I just thought Keegan was really awesome, and just did a really amazing job. And just made the movie very funny, along with everyone else that was a part of it. And just, it was just a really fun role, and just a really great movie. If you haven't seen it, definitely check out Hell Baby. Super hilarious, especially now that it's October. Definitely check it out, people. It's worth the watch, especially if you're a big fan of watching a horror movie a day for 31 days of Halloween. But when it comes to in The Predator, I absolutely loved his character. I loved how he worked with Thomas Jane in the film. I thought they worked so good as like this duo. They were both hilarious and just were super fun. Keegan was just so hilarious in every scene he had. At just how he interacted with Boyd Holbrook and Olivia Munn and Jacob Tremblay and just everyone that was in the film. He just was like so stinking perfect, and he was just a great addition to the film, and he made it so fun and enjoyable and entertaining. And he just was a great treat to see in the film and give us a nice, awesome kind of like little comedy side trick, for the film, besides it being just a, nonstop, gore fest and, sci-fi flick. He was a great addition. He was a great choice to put in the film. We also have in this film a guy I just mentioned a few seconds ago that was a really awesome addition to the film too. I haven't seen him in forever. I think he's a great action star. I think he's just fun to watch. I think he has, the acting chops, and I wish he had more roles and did more stuff. And that, of course, is Mr. Thomas Jane, or Tom Jane. Thomas Jane is just an awesome guy. I think he's amazing, awesome, and just excellent. He's been in such a great slew of films. I absolutely loved him in Deep Blue Sea. I think that's one of his best roles ever. And I just think he's really awesome and excellent. He had that show Hung that you might recognize him from, and just a slew of other films over the years. But a couple films I really enjoyed him in and thought I'd mention were the awesome 2004 film that is based off of a Marvel comic, and I think one of the best iterations of this character. I haven't had a chance to check out the Netflix series of this Marvel character yet, Marvel character, and I'm looking forward to finally checking it out eventually soon. But I just think that this film was just a really amazing take on it. I mean, don't get me wrong, Dolph Lundgren back in the 80s was awesome as him too. But I just think that this was the best iteration I've seen in the last 20 years, or 30 years, I should say. And that, of course, is the awesome film The Punisher that came out in 2004 that starred John Travolta and had a huge, awesome cast. Now Thomas Jane, this film was just so badass and awesome. I loved his character, Frank Castle. I thought he was really intense. I loved his idea and his take on the character. It was just a really well done Punisher film. And it gave you a whole idea behind it, kind of being a little bit more realistic too. Giving you, he's this ex-marine that basically loses his family, and he goes in hiding and becomes like this person of justice, or a vigilante basically. And I just thought Thomas did a really awesome job of playing this character and giving us this whole new different look than Dolph Lundgren's version of the Punisher, Frank Castle. And I just he was so awesome, and it's one of his best roles besides Deep Blue Sea. And he just was so awesome and excellent at the film, and just gave us a really amazing role. Another awesome film that he was in, and I think is a great Stephen King adaptation that came out in 2008, and I just think it's a really fun and awesome film as well. And that, of course, is the awesome film The Mist. And I just thought Tom was so awesome in this film, too. I loved his character. I loved how he interacted with Marcy Gay Harding. I love how he interacted with everyone in the film. I just thought he brought a great presence to the film and gave us a really awesome creature feature. And just, he really brought to life, Stephen King's character that was in the book. And gave us, this awesome look at this character, and gave us a really good visual of that character. And Tom just brought a lot of great, acting ability to the film. I loved how he was so passionate, but at the same time he was like a, action star. And then at the same time, when he did have to be like sad, he really brought that too, and gave us a really awesome look at it. And especially the ending, he really showed us how good of an actor he was with what he had to deal with at the end of the film. That was just so intense and awesome. And Thomas did a really amazing job, and I think he definitely deserves some kind of recognition for that role when it came out. And just, he did a really amazing job, really well done. But when it comes to his character in The Predator, I absolutely loved the character too in this film. It was so nice to see him in something in so long. He was absolutely hilarious and fun. Loved his interaction with Keegan-Michael Key, and how they were kind of like this couple in the film, and just how they were like best friends, and like how they interacted with each other and threw stupid lines at each other and stuff. And he just was like freaking hilarious to see in this film, and see like him kind of be like an action star again, and give us like, that great acting ability. He just was really intense and awesome in this film. I really enjoyed him in it, and he just made the movie very pleasurable and enjoyable, and just made it a really great addition to this film as well. And that, of course, is the awesome gentleman that, like I said, is just an awesome, intense actor. Really gave us his, new acting chops, a couple years ago, being, Oscar worthy and stuff like that. And that, of course, is the gentleman named as Trevante Rhodes. Now, Trevante Rhodes, you might recognize from a few films over the last couple of years. You might recognize him as just an interesting and, different character. He was, kind of gotten that Oscar nom kind of flair and stuff like that from a film he did a couple years ago. And he's a rising star that I think is just really awesome. Now, a couple films I recognize him from, or I've seen him in, and thought he was pretty decent in, and thought he did a really good job, was none other than the 2016 winner of Best Film. And that, of course, is the film Moonlight. He actually plays adult Chiron in the film, and I thought he did a really good job. I thought he was really awesome. I loved his characterization of the character. I thought that he brought a really good sense to the character, and just his interaction with, the other characters that he was, having to work with in the film. And I just thought he did a really awesome job. Gave us a really amazing performance, and definitely was worthy of Oscar nomination and Oscar winning, and he just did an amazing job. I thought he could have been definitely an Oscar winner, but at the same time, I just think he did a really amazing job, and gave us, a great insight into that character for that film. And just was a really awesome pleasure to see in the film. Another great film that he was in that wasn't a huge part, but was a really awesome part in this film that is kind of almost completely, computer-based looking at, where people are talking on, web chat and stuff like that through computers and on monitors and stuff like that. And that, of course, is the 2014 film called Open Windows. Now, this awesome film that stars Elijah Wood, I did a review on it. Check it out if you haven't seen it. But this awesome film, Durante was just really awesome in it as well. Like I said, it wasn't a huge part, but it still was a really awesome role. I really enjoyed him in it. Totally forgot that was him in the film, because I didn't realize he had really done anything previous to Moonlight. And so after watching Moonlight and then just watching Open Window a few months later, and I was like, holy crap, that's Javante Rhodes. I'm like, this is awesome. He really is versatile in his acting, and he just was a really awesome actor. And he just did a really good job in the film, and I really enjoyed his interaction with Elijah Wood and everyone that was in the film, and just how he was, and how he brought a great sense to the character he played, and just he gave us an entertaining character, and it was a real pleasure to see the movie. But it comes to in The Predator, I absolutely was loving his character in this film. I loved the whole idea behind this character. I loved his interaction with Boyd Holbrook. I loved his interaction with everyone. I liked just how the character he portrayed. It was nice seeing him in like more of a, uh, an action type of role and kind of like a macho man type of role, giving us kind of a different look at between his character and Moonlight and character in Open Windows, and kind of gave us this interesting and new kind of like war-torn veteran type of character, and I thought he did a really good job with it. Really made it intense and fun, and just made it very enjoyable and entertaining, and just was a really great pleasure in the film. He was probably one of my all-time favorites in the film, along with Thomas Jane and Keegan-Michael Key. I just think they all were so amazing. This film is probably my top 10 of the year. I would even put this at number 1 for the year so far. I just think it's such a great movie. It's definitely tied there with Night School and House with a Clock on the Wall, and it's a fun film, really awesome and amazing, and just really well done performance by Javante Rhodes, and just really awesome to see him again and see him in a totally different capacity, and just was fun to enjoy him in. So if you're not familiar with what the Predator is about, basically this time around, the Predators have come to Earth because they want to share a weapon that they've created to help fight predators. And so this one predator that feels that the humans should have this kind of weapon to help them fight against the predators, basically comes down and tries to give it to us, but at the same time as he's trying to give it to the humans, other predators are coming to fight him and to like hunt him. And so the movie's basically about this one predator being hunted by another predator, and how these humans get kind of caught up in the mess because one of them happens to be in the same area when they crash, when the one predator that's trying to bring that weapon to us, and he ends up confiscating the predator's helmet, and so then the predator goes after him, and so his whole family and his ragtag trio of people that he brings along with him, they have to fight the predator and fight the other predator and find out why are the predators here, what they were doing, and why are they trying to give them this like weapon thing that you don't find out until all the way till the end of the film. It's just a really amazing and awesome new entry into the Predator series. If you haven't seen it, sorry, I should have not said the spoilers at it, but at the same time, I couldn't help but talk about how awesome that is, and how that's a cool little tidbit that they give us at the end of the film. But it's just a really awesome film. If you haven't seen it, definitely go check it out. It's worth the watch, people. So fun, so amazing. Definitely, check this bad boy out, because it's a real pleasure and real fun and just so awesome. Great job by Shane Black and everyone involved, and just a really awesome, film. Can't wait to add this to my collection, especially on 4K. This is just going to be a really intense and awesome film. Watching it again and stuff, because it was just so awesome. Really enjoyed it. Giant 10 golden movie boxes up on it. Definitely see it if you haven't seen it, people. It's worth the watch. So that's it for this movie review, guys. As always, thank you for watching. Thank you for liking. And also, thank you for subscribing. And if this is your first time here, if you've been here before and you haven't hit that subscribe button, do you want me to stick the Predator on you? Come on, hit that subscribe button, people, so you don't miss this video or any of the awesome videos I put up. And as always, keep your eyes out for any old or newer videos you might not have seen mine yet. And also, people, check out the awesome Stardust app. Now, Stardust is an awesome app that you can download on the Google Play Store or the Apple, and where you can watch 3 to 30 second little mini reviews of TV shows, trailers, movies, And also, this awesome app has awesome special features always being added to it with polls and contests and all kinds of cool stuff. So that's something interesting. Go ahead and download it. Look for me under Cyberneticshark, and if you follow me, I'll follow you back. And as always, people, catch you in the next one.